So, this is a fight video I've kind of had on my mind, and it's so unique. It's just so different and out there from most of my other ones. But in a weird way, I could see it working. So this is, Boba Fett versus Samurai Jack. Yeah. I just kind of thought, wouldn't it be crazy if this happened? Wouldn't it be crazy if Boba Fett and fucking Samurai Jack just threw down? What would that be like, honestly? What would that honestly be like? So we're going to talk about that. Anyway, so let's get into it. So let's talk first about Samurai Jack. Now, obviously, Samurai Jack, he had... we all know the story. Aku threw him into the future, and he's got to get back. And, yeah. Now, Samurai Jack, in his early days, was trained by Shaka Zulu. He was trained by Hercules, Robin Hood, Sun Tzu. I think originally the idea was that they were going to show that Sun Tzu helped train him. But, yeah. Basically, the dude has had a ton of people train him throughout history, and then when he went to the future, armed with his the magical sword, Jack took on bounty hunters, cyborgs, assassins, demons, gods, you name it, he fought and killed it. Jack also, despite being human, he has incredible high tolerance for pain. He's also a master hand-to-hand fighter, and even if he loses the sword, which he did for a while, he is capable of mastering several other weapons, and he's even built a few traps. Jack is also incredibly intelligent. This is a guy who does not stop until the enemy is dead. But anyway, so yeah, the same could be said for his opponent, Boba Fett. Now, of course, we know Boba Fett, greatest bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe, Mandalorian, who is a master hand-to-hand fighter. He is a expert in all forms of weaponry. He's got, of course, flamethrower wrist. He's got a missile rocket pack. He is a one-man army. He is just a jack-of-all-trades of death. This is a guy who, in the Legends continuity, fought Darth Vader to a standstill twice. Boba Fett, incredibly intelligent. He's also has a high tolerance for pain, and that armor can hold up against a lot. So what would it be like if Fett and Jack squared off? What kind of fight would that be if Samurai Jack and Boba Fett met in battle? Now, Jack, of course, is only armed with one weapon, the sword. But when you think about it, that's really all he needs. And again, he is capable of mastering other forms of weaponry really quick, but that sword has gone up against people with lasers or missiles, all kinds of crazy shit. And he has come out on top most of the time. That dude has come up against just wave upon wave of enemies with just the sword and still kept going. Jack is a very determined, very brutal fighter. Here is a guy who does not know the meaning of quit. And, whatever, Fett throws at Jack, Jack is going to keep going at him again and again. And Fett is not really used to fighting people because even his name alone inspires fear. So the fact that he's fighting a guy I think, pretty much if Fett ever encountered Samurai Jack, I think he would literally go the first time around, he'd be like, is this guy a Jedi? What the hell? Who the hell is this? The other major thing is that we have to ask ourselves is, could Jack's sword cut Fett's armor? That armor is very high impact, blaster resistant. So yeah, his armor is going to be very hard to get through. But I honestly think Jack's sword could actually cut through Fett's armor. This is a guy who's cut through mystical objects and, metals that have been said to never have been able to be broken. Remember, that sword is magically endowed by 3 different gods from 3 different pantheons. I'm pretty sure it could cut through Fett's armor. Now, that's not to say Fett is, going to be useless against Jack. Fett has come up against Jedi and mercenaries and even Vader twice to essentially... he usually comes out on top, or in the fights with Vader, it's a standstill. But Fett has, a vast array of weaponry. If his blaster doesn't work, he's going to go for the flamethrower. Flamethrower don't work, he's going to use this or that. And the other thing is that Fett is going to constantly alternate between all of his weaponry. He is going to constantly keep alternating between his weaponry, and definitely when he finds out that, yeah, that sword, I don't want to get near that, so I'm going to, play a ranged fight. But, however, Jack is going to find a way to get close to you one way or another. Jack is definitely going to find a way to get up close to you and cut you down. Because remember, he jumped good. Anyway, so that's another major thing you have to take into this. Both of these fighters have high tolerance for pain and have some massive stamina. And again, the argument is that, well, Boba Fett has just the armament. He's a one-man army. Jack is a one-man army with a one-man sword, on the other hand. And he has fought an entire army multiple times. And I'm not trying to say, oh, this is most assuredly Jack, because Fett is just as smart as Jack. He's gonna be constantly planning and constantly trying to change up the game to keep Jack off of his feet. He's gonna be constantly throwing curveballs again and again. And while Jack is, he thinks on his feet, Fett is, might shake him up a few times. So this is a really dangerous one. Boba Fett would be an excellent adversary for Samurai Jack. So yeah. So you guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think would come out on top in this matchup? If you think Fett wins, put hashtag Boba wins, and list off the reasons why you think Boba Fett would come out on top in this matchup. But however, if you think Samurai Jack would win, put hashtag Jack wins, and list off the reasons why you think he'd come out on top against Boba Fett. This is a really curious one. It's been on my mind lately, and I was like, you know what? This is so out there. I want to see what everyone thinks of it. So yeah, just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.